Married at the age of 9, Ajia Aisha Baba, a producer with Freedom Radio Kano, now 51, has nearly seen it all in terms of marriage and relationships. She shares with Ali Gaba in this interview her belief, views, and experience with marriage. And question was thrown to her, saying, "When did you get married?" And she answered, "I am married for the past 41 years but didn't attend school at my early age. Both my parents were educated, so I was not allowed to attend school at all. It was later, after bearing 5 children for my husband, that I was able to go to school. I got married at the age of 9. Naturally, I have the zeal and the will to go to school, but there was no opportunity for me to do so as at that time. One day I was listening to the radio when I heard that forms were on sale for adult education in Bauchi, and I developed interest immediately. The form then was 100 naira only. I went straight to my husband and begged him to allow me go to school, and my request was granted. When I came for the exam, it was a mock exam, and there were 78 of us who sat for the examination. We were asked to write and read in the hall. Unfortunately, I did not pass my exam because I couldn't read or write, but I was not worried and angry at them. That also did not that also did not deter me from doing what I wanted to do then. The person who was in charge of the admission said they should not give me admission because I cannot read or write. I started coming to class daily. I usually stood outside the class by the window side and listened to the lecturers. But one day, the principal of the school sent one of his staff to call me. He asked me why I was always standing by the window side outside the classroom, and I told him that I was looking for admission, but they said they wouldn't give me because I couldn't write. He pleaded on my behalf that since I was the one that brought myself to school, they should allow me because he believed that I would be serious with my education, and that was why I got the admission into adult education in Bauchi State after my adult education. The exam officer that refused me admission was shocked with my performance because I passed all my subjects. After this exam, I came back and did a certificate course in adult education. From there, I proceed to FCE, Yola, and sat for private GCE. After this, I proceed to Kano and did diploma in community development and advanced diploma at BUK Kano. I started my journalism career at BATV Bauchi as a producer, doing a program on women, how to cook food and other things like that. What was your experience as a married woman at the tender age of 9 years? And she said, I had no other training apart from my parents' training and that of my husband. And if you ask questions in my community, they would tell you that I am a patient person, hard working, etc. Apart from my parents' training, the rest was my husband that trained me on so many things, how to behave, work, and do other things, and he put me in the right direction. I think I thank him for being exceptional. At that tender age, did anything happen between you and your husband? She said, yes, very well. Remember, I am his wife. I slept in his room. My first night with him was painful. It was like someone cut me with razor blade in my private part. Blood gushed out from the inside. In the morning, the bed sheet was wrapped with the blood and sent to my parents. I remember I received same treatment for mothers who delivered newly. Same treatment was applied to me in the morning. I had to walk with my legs open because of pains, and that made me respect my husband the more. Anytime I saw him coming, I would turn my back because I was too ashamed to have eye contact with him. Remembering what happened on our first night, it was a shameful thing for a lady to marry and was already deflowered by someone else. I was a It was a shameful thing to you, your family, uncles, friends, and even your husband and his relatives. Besides, if you are not a virgin, it becomes a talk of the town. People would sing and dance around the community with your name. What about your parents? How did they react to it? It was a happy moment for my family. I remember in the morning, my aunts maternal and paternal laughed and later cried out of joy. My father and mother were excited. After the shedding after shedding their tears of joy, they turned to me and blessed me by saying all kinds of words of blessing to me and my unborn children, believing that I would soon get pregnant. I was treated especially that week. A special dish was prepared for me, roasted and fried chicken, hot tea, and also bathed with hot water throughout the period. They gave me many gifts. While on my husband's part, he gave me many gifts, including money. He bought radio and television for me. Part of the money he gave me was used by my parents to buy goods for me, and I never regretted it. It was there. Was okay. Was there any relationship like love affair before marrying your husband? He said, it was my father that joined me and him. It was my father that chose him for me. My husband was an adult when we got married. Then he was almost 40 years old and I was just 9 years old. Hell! The real person I had thought was going to marry me when I grew up a little was the son of Emir of Jalingo, Taraba, but my father insisted against it. I told him that his wish was my wish because I don't want to do anything that would hurt his mind. So I accepted my father's proposal. Are you still married to your husband? She said, my husband is dead, but we are divorced. Eh? Why are you divorced despite the love and care? Mm, despite the love and care he showed to you. And she said, it is a long but very short story. I started seeing letters written to him on daily basis. I love you. So I became suspicious. My husband was a womanizer. He was dating one NYSC girl who served in his office. Since he met this girl, he started to change, began to change towards me gradually. Then one day I was in office when he shouted at me, "Stupid, idiot." I knew this was an insult, so I asked people for the meaning and they confirmed to me that it was an insult. At that point, I determined that I would give it whatever it takes for me to get educated by God's grace. That was how I developed more interest in Western education. This was what caused the divorce because my loyalty to him was not there anymore. After our divorce, he tried all he could to bring me back to his house, but I said no because I know I would not love him again like before, and my loyalty would not be 100% like before. So I refused to go back to his house. But to date, whatever decision he takes in his house, he would consult me, and my input must be there. So what advice do you have for girls of such age? She said it is good for a woman or young girl to wait till she gets married and not be deflowered before she gets married. Any woman who is deflowered before marriage will not earn respect in her husband's house. Secondly, she should marry a man that loves her, not the one she loves, because in marriage, one has to hide her wisdom and has to be a fool for the marriage to work. I want every woman to accept that whatever that happens to her in her husband's house is from God, and there, there will be a way forward. She should learn to be more patient and take her complaints to God. As I am talking to you, despite the fact that I got married at a tender age, today I have advanced diploma, which was as a result of my patience. And the last question she was asked, so do you still see your father's choice as the best for you? She said, yes, yes. To me, it was a blessing because I have five children, one girl and four boys. One of them graduated in 2011. They are treating me like a mother. They love me very much and the ones who buy most of the things I need to survive as a mother, ranging from clothes, food items, and cash. I love them all, and they love me. Wow, I think from what this woman said, okay, maybe it was a typo error. She said, yes, that she see, because when the question was thrown to her, are you still married to your husband? She said, yes, my husband is not dead, but we are divorced. Okay, it was supposed to be my husband is not dead, but we are divorced. And that was when she now talked about, oh, even if the man is taking any decision, for the fact that they are divorced, that they are still, that the man still respects her. But I don't know what you guys think about what this woman has said, because in my opinion, she never said anything to me meaningful as per when what will she advise the people or the youngest to do. But she didn't talk about the age. She just talked about, oh, you should not be deflowered. And she herself that went through all of those things. At the end of the day, what came out of the old marriage? It was it not shame? Was it not not being loved? What kind of respect are we talking about? Now she's just on her own now. She's not with the man again, and you are talking about not being deflowered. Of course, not being deflowered. At what age? Which she didn't even talk about. So are you saying that children should get married at the age of what? At the age of 9? Because she just said, oh, just don't be deflowered. People are always trying to mix up things. Whether you are being deflowered or whatever, that is not the issue, but the age at which it happened, that is what matters most. Because this is to me, this is a wrong teaching. She's not regretting it. Why? Because you have children, you are not regretting it, and you are not in the man's house. And at 51, you are not in the man's house, and you have 5 children. Well, people in that area, there's this mindset they already have, and it will be so difficult for people for them to unlearn what they have learned. But some people are there using them, trying to tell them what is not. But she acknowledged the fact that, okay, Western education, I don't even see anything wrong in that. If whatever you think is you believe, you need to work on it so that other people can really accept it. For those who are even talking about a Western education, good and fine. It's not compulsory that you must get this Western education. Whatever you two believe, and you know that it's going to be of help to other people, whatever education you want to get, but let the education or what you believe in not to be detrimental to others, not to be at the expense of others. That is why people are not really following what they are talking about. If you talk about, oh, this is what you believe, most especially those who are from that region, you believe that Western education is not good. I'm just trying to digress for what she said. If you believe that the Western education is not good, whatever you believe, can you be proud of what you believe that people can emulate? Because when you talk about Western education, because people have seen it and then see that there's light in it, of course there's nothing that is so perfect, but there must be some inches here and there. But if that which you believe, develop it, let other people learn from it, and let people be proud of it. If that thing people cannot be proud of it, that means there's nothing about there's nothing good about that thing. In my opinion, that's what I just believe. And someone says here that this interview has spoiled my day. Men, please have mercy on gay child, I beg. This is barbaric. Someone says she's insincere with her advice. She should have remained patient with the man despite the insult. She did not disobey. She did not disclose her current status. Is she remarried or seeking another marriage? Now that she's educated, will she want her only daughter travel the same route as she did? That's a big question. Will she allow her daughter to go through that level, the 9 years? It's unfortunate. Well, so guys, you guys are always familiar. You're always already familiar with what is happening in that region. So it's not a big deal, or it's not a news to most of the people. And she says she's not regretting it. Why is she not regretting it? That she got married at the age of 9. So guys, leave your comments below and let's have your take on this.